1,034 terrorists across all theaters of operations within 1 year. From the international scene, South Korean president is facing mounting pressure to resign over his failed attempt to impose martial law as parliament moves closer to a vote on his impeachment. Details of these and more coming your way soon. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at the start. Now, details of the news. The Nigerian Senate has passed for third reading Investment in Securities Repeal and Enhancement Bill 2024. Passage of the bill for the third reading by the Senate, followed by consideration and adoption of recommendations made to that effect by its Committee on Capital Market, chaired by Senator Osita Izunaso. The committee in the report informed the Senate that repeal and enactment bill, when signed into law, will make the Securities and Exchange Commission the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian capital market. Correspondent Kolojo reports that the passage of the bill will bring about diversity and growth in the capital market through market offerings that would form the foundation for economic expansion, thereby creating job opportunities within the Nigerian capital market.
That enactment of this proposed legislation will undoubtedly provide significant opportunity to drive the growth of the capital market and diversification, thereby creating a conducive atmosphere for investors in the Nigerian capital market. 4, that the bill contemplates to address modern forms of financial malpractices and reinforce investors' protection by
for the Act to repeal the Investment and Securities Act 2007, Act number 29/2007, and enact the Investments and Securities Bill 2024, and to establish the Securities and Exchange Commission as the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian capital market, as well as regulation of the market to ensure capital formation.
The Senate accordingly, after clause-by-clause consideration of the bill, passed it for third reading. Still with matters from the Red Chambers, the Nigerian Senate on Thursday insisted that the proposed tax reform bill has not been suspended or withdrawn as erroneously reported by some media organizations. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, reiterated the Chamber's independence and its commitment to safeguarding the interests of Nigerians as it deliberates on the contentious tax reform bills. Correspondent Kolojo reports that Akpabio made the remarks after the Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, raised a point of order to that effect. Senator Bamidele expressed displeasure with reports that the bill has been withdrawn, stressing that the executive has the right to do so. He noted that the reservations raised during the debate was the reason another committee was constituted to look at the grey areas and report back to the Senate.
As far as we are concerned, the tax reform bills are alive in this hollow chamber. They are receiving consideration at various levels, and we are open to discussions, to negotiations, to interface. But let it not be said anywhere that we suspended further consideration of these bills.
In his remarks, Akpabio said that the Red Chamber will not be bullied or intimidated over the tax reform bills, asserting that legislative action on the proposed laws will continue in the interest of Nigerians. The Senate also reshuffled the membership of the committee responsible for meeting with the federal. Now to the Green Chambers, the House of Representatives has passed 2 significant bills for second reading, focusing on environmental protection and corporate taxation. The first, a bill for an act to prohibit gas flaring, encourage gas utilization, and provide penalties and remedies for gas flaring violation, was sponsored by Honorable Babajimi Benson. Leading the debate, Honorable Benson explained that the bill seeks to prohibit the flaring at the venting of natural gas except under strictly regulated conditions. It also aims to promote gas utilization to drive economic growth and energy generation. Some lawmakers, however, expressed confidence about the bill.
The bill represents a decisive legislative intervention aimed at addressing the long-standing damaging practice of gas flaring in Nigeria. It is firmly rooted in our constitutional obligation to protect the environment and promote sustainable development.
Environmental protection is one of the significant aspects that we need to strengthen our legislative strength and provide legal framework that will cure some of the deficiencies in that regard.
Preventing the flaring of gas entirely is a welcome development for us to look at it, to quickly enact this law, because if you look at the NUPRC's Act for providing even some companies to access the flaring of gas, this flaring is hazardous to our environment, to our ecosystem entirely, particularly the people of the Niger Delta region.
The importance of this bill cannot be overemphasized. Those of us from Niger Delta, anybody from Niger Delta ought to support the flaring of gas by these oil companies. Portends a lot of hazards to the people in terms of their properties, in terms of their health.
The second, the bill to amend the House of Representatives has directed its Committee on Port and Harbour and Safety Institution to investigate frequent accidents involving articulated trucks and propose solutions within police and relevant agencies to explain enforcement strategies for ensuring compliance with port safety standards. This followed the motion by Honorable OK Jesse, who also urged the House Committee on Port and Harbour, in collaboration with the Ministry of Works and stakeholders, to develop a framework to ensure containers leaving ports are proper.
Safety checks and coordination among stakeholders in the transport and logistics chain have facilitated the pain, creating an unsafe environment of commuters and business alike. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, the House now resolved to mandate the House Committees on Ports and Harbour Safety Institution to investigate the constant accident of containerized truck and provide solution within 28 days for further legislative action.
In another motion, the Green Chamber also called the national security agencies to reduce excessive checkpoints along the Onitsha-Enugu Expressway, citing their violation of citizens' right to free movement as enshrined in Section 41 of the Constitution. Following the adoption of a motion by Honorable Amobi Oga, the House noted that the checkpoints often lead to harassment, bribery, increased transportation costs and economic disruption in the southeast region.
Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, inasmuch as security is important, the current approach of mounting excessive security checkpoints is counterproductive and undermines the economic stability of the region. We advocate the use of modern and more efficient methods of maintaining security that do not subject the people to undue hardship or violate their constitutional fundamental rights.
Still with the Green Chambers, 4 members of House of Representatives have defected from Labour Party to All Progressive Congress, citing internal crisis and absence of a National Working Committee in the Labour Party as key reasons for the decision. The defectors include Chinedu Okereke Owerri North Owerri West Imo State, Matthew Donatus Kaura Kaduna State, Akiba Basi Odupani Cross River, and Esosa Iyawe Oredo Edo State. Additionally, Iriria Teke Borisono, representing Ethio Federal Constituency Delta, left the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for the APC. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas announced the defections on Thursday and congratulated the lawmakers, stating that they made the right decision. However, Minority Whip
to serve the interests of our people and contribute more effectively to the development of policies that will drive positive change.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Nigerian police disclosed how 4 officers declared only 31.7 million naira despite recovering 79.4 million naira from a man unlawfully arrested at Lagos Airport. Details of that and more coming after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page as Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate live updates and comments as you can easily scan our IG QR code. Now to other stories. The family head of Kokoile has cried out that his grandchild that was given birth to at Bagada General Hospital and pronounced dead was not the baby corpse we brought out for them. The parents of the baby, Ifeanyi Okolie and Susan Okolie, also confirmed that the name tag on the corpse of the baby brought out to them was completely different from their name and therefore the delivery there was a mix-up somehow. The family head has called on the hospital management to investigate the incident and help retrieve the grandchild, whom he said was given birth to in the hospital 2 days ago and was healthy as at the last time he saw the baby. Leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch staged a peaceful march in Lagos in solidarity with Nigerians in the face of current economic hardship. They called for reversal of some of the economic policies that have made life unbearable for the people of Nigeria. Galaxy News correspondent Labi Joseph has more in this report.
That was the altercation that ensued between security personnel at the gate of Lagos State Governor's office and leaders of the NBA Ikeja branch when they were not allowed to enter the office premises. Representing over 10,000 members of the Ikeja branch of NBA, the leadership wanted to submit a letter to the president through the state governor calling for actions to mitigate the sufferings of the people, especially the masses. They said they can no longer fold their hands because the suffering is getting out of hand and something drastic has to be done soon.
It's a confirmation that something is definitely wrong with our country. It's a confirmation that our branch, the Ikeja branch, we are in the right direction and we would not stop. We won't stop. We continue as long as this massive. Let me put a record also that most people that you see here, they are people that could afford 3 days, maybe 3 12 days. You understand? They are not hungry people. So we are fighting for the ordinary people on the road.
No, we've been hearing of, oh, we are fixing it for the past almost 20 months now that this government came into power. First subsidy removed. And it's been removed gradually, like removed. And every day they are removing because from 6 something to now we are paying 1,000, almost 1,100. At times we even pay as much as 1,300 for petrol. How about foodstuff? We go to the market, in short, it's sad.
From Lagos, this is Lebby Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Former Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has faulted the nation's adopted electoral policy of winner takes all. This is as he advocated re-engineering of the electoral system in order to correct all the noticeable anomalies in the system. Fayemi made the submission in a lecture with the theme The Future and Challenges of the Nigerian Nation, delivered in commemoration of the 80th birthday anniversary of Ambassador Yemi Farounbi in Ibadan on Thursday. He submitted that alternative politics must be taken as a wholesale reform of the political system. He stated that the desire for a more prosperous future should be anchored on the principle of devolution of powers, that is, reallocation of powers and resources to the country's federating units. In his address, the chairman of the occasion and former Minister of Education, Professor Tunde Adeniro, lauded the contributions of Dr. Farounbi to the development of the country.
The challenges that we face today could not have been envisaged in 1999, but we must see these challenges as opportunities to test our governance system and its responsive capacity to issues of national coexistence. The integrity of our governance and administrative system must be continually measured in terms of its ability to deliver the greater good to the greatest number of our people. If we're not able to do this, we must be willing to press the reset button and ask ourselves why the system that we all must submit to is not working for us all.
It's not a weakness to admit that you have faults. It is not a weakness to admit that you have diversity. You have various viewpoints, various tribes, various languages, various religions. But it is for you to understand the commonality, where you overlap and is common. It is for you to know that you cannot force unity. It can only grow by recognizing the individualism in each unit.
We need to celebrate the values, to thank God for His life, what He has been able to do for this country and for humanity. But more than that, He stands for certain values: integrity, patriotism, selflessness, and commitment.
Not to security. The defense headquarters has said that troops of the Nigerian military have sustained aggressive onslaught against insurgents as it neutralized 8,034 terrorists across all theaters of operations within 1 year. Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who made this known while addressing journalists at the annual review of the ongoing military operations across the country, said the troops also arrested 11,623 and rescued 6,376 hostages during the year. He stated the troops of the Niger Delta region, in the course of fight against oil theft, recovered 53,101,430 liters of stolen crude oil, 9,179,181 liters of illegally refined AGO, and 90,500. Over 2,000 persons from Unpo village, Rumolu Nene community in Obio Akwa local government area and Upobo town in Upobo Unko local government area of River State have benefited from a 2-day free medical rhapsody carried out by the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder. The 2-day medical outreach, which was carried out as first part of the Nigerian Navy's corporate social responsibility and non-kinetic effort of Operation Delta Sanity 4. Speaking during the exercise at Unpo village, the commander NNS Pathfinder, Commander Kajithan Anyako, said the medical rhapsody is in line with the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala's vision, mission, and strategic directive.
Nigerian Navy corporate social responsibilities.
They do this in last year, and this year they did it.
This one was carrying an malaria and typhoid and ulcer. I don't pay anything free. That's why they thank them.
My 2 legs, I have this arthritis and rheumatism. They have given me the drugs that they have for now.
And to the story teased earlier, the Nigeria police 1.7 million naira despite recovering 79.4 million naira from a man unlawfully arrested at Lagos Airport. The force, in a statement by spokesperson ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, said the clarification was necessary against the backdrop of social allegations against the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun, accusing him of shielding a cartel accused of smuggling suspicious new banknotes from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Correspondent Kuleojo reports that Adejobi said the officers attempted to steal 43,160,000 from the cash recovered from an employee of the company who had been arrested without authorization. The claims, which are described as baseless, were orchestrated attempts to tarnish the IGP's reputation and the integrity of the force. He also and still on security, the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Haudi, says the task of nation building requires a lot of sacrifices. Nation building conference held in Abuja on Thursday. He stated that to prevent the issue of insecurity bedeviling the country, all security agencies, including citizens, must come together to work very closely. The CAG noted that coordination, cooperation and collaboration among security agencies will sustain the war against insecurity and other forms of social vices. He believes that conflict and insecurity are reduced drastically across the nation. A situation is said we will encourage development in the country.
An asymmetric war has held nations ransom for decades. The case of it is Sri Lanka, where the American gas held Sri Lanka for over 2 decades. We have seen really the same.
Not for the stories. The National Orientation Agency NOA said it has commenced a nationwide sensitization campaign on HIV/AIDS, security consciousness, get rich quick syndrome, human rights and tax reforms. The Director General of NOA, Madam Lanre Issa Onilu, made this known during a press conference to flag off the sensitization campaign in Abeokuta. The DG, who was represented by the NOA Director in Ogun, Olufunke Salako, said the sensitization campaign was with the theme promoting awareness, ethical values and national development. He added the government has intensified effort in providing free and accessible HIV testing and counseling services nationwide. He noted the government also ensures antiretroviral treatment is available and accessible to people living with HIV/AIDS and partnering with local and international organizations to combat stigma and discrimination.
Challenges before us require collective action and active participation from all Nigerians. The first thing that this month's campaign, December campaign, is focusing on is AIDS, HIV/AIDS. We're going to be creating awareness again on HIV/AIDS. We're going to be sensitizing people about the disease, about why people should not, those who are living with the disease should not be stigmatized.
Legal practitioners have continued to condemn the arrest and subsequent arraignment of Dele Farotimi in Ekiti State. Speaking with Galaxy News correspondent Lebi Joseph in Lagos during the peaceful march of the Ikeja branch of Nigerian Bar Association, the incoming chairman of the branch, Kazim, and new secretary, Deji Olabiwonu, said the way Dele Farotimi was picked up in Lagos and moved to Ekiti State was totally illegal.
It's a very, very suspicious one. From the allegation that we have been put across, people are basically using the border on libel defamation. I don't know whether that is something to warrant the manner of invasion of his office. So I am a little bit uncomfortable with the procedure by which he was speaking and the manner by which he was arranged in court and not granted on such a simple issue of defamation. This is a man that we all know so many times he has been subject to police invite. He has always presented himself. Identified to me, he lives in Lagos, he practices in Lagos, the book was published in Lagos, the person who bought the book bought it in Lagos. Why would you have to send a lawyer, send a detachment of police from a city state to Benin because it was sick, that was the sick.
Polytechnic students have appealed to the federal government to give adequate attention to the demands of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics in order to avoid disruption of academic calendar. The association, at the end of its 43rd Senate sitting held at the Federal Polytechnic at Osun State, equally passed vote of confidence on Governor Ademola Adeleke and endorsed him for his second term. Presenting the communique of the sitting to journalists, the national president of the association, Comrade Ridwan Opeyemi, expressed displeasure with notice of strike by ASUP scheduled to commence any moment from now, saying it remains a bad signal for the polytechnic education and students in Nigeria. He said NAPS has taken decisive steps to address the HND-BSc dichotomy, advocating for the recognition of HND orders and supporting polytechnics transition. Now we move to the international desk for the news. This is news from the international scene. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol is facing mounting pressure to resign over his failed attempt to impose martial law as Parliament moves closer to a vote on his impeachment. The capital Seoul has seen a second day of street protests demanding Yoon's resignation, while police said he was being investigated for insurrection. The opposition is pushing for a vote on the motion to impeach Yoon on Saturday, even as the president's party has said they are against it. It needs at least 8 members of Yoon's party to vote for his impeachment for the motion to pass with a 2/3 majority in the 300-seat parliament. South Korea was plunged into political turmoil late on Tuesday night when Yoon made a shock martial law declaration. He cited threats from anti-state forces in North Korea. However, it soon became clear that his move had been spurred by an external threat, not by his own, the war in Ukraine and spreading a tsunami of misinformation. Let's not fool ourselves and not allow Lavrov or anyone else to fool us, he said. This is not about and has never been about Russia's security. The French government fell after Parliament backed a motion of no confidence in Prime Minister Michel Barnier on Wednesday. French President Emmanuel Macron was ousted in a no-confidence vote. Names of a new Prime Minister were swirling before Barnier even tendered his resignation on Thursday morning, including Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu, Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau, and centrist former presidential candidate François overwhelmingly in support of the motion against them, just 3 months after he was appointed by Macron. Wednesday's night vote was the first time a French government had been voted on. Police have launched a manhunt for a masked suspect who gunned down the head of a U.S. medical insurance giant in what investigators described as a brazen targeted attack. United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson was fatally shot in the back on Wednesday morning outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where he had been scheduled to speak at an investor conference later in the day. The 50-year-old father of 2, who was also shot in the leg, was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead minutes after the attack, officials said. Investigators said that they did not know the motive of the assailant, who fled the scene without taking any of the victims' belongings. Police have offered a caution saying the northeastern Indian state of Assam has banned the consumption of beef in public places, including restaurants and events. This is in temples, Chief Minister Aminata Biswa Sama said on Wednesday. However, the meat can still be purchased from shops and eaten within homes or private establishments in the state. The consumption of beef is a sensitive issue in India, as cows are revered by Hindus, who comprise 80% of the country's population. Several states ruled by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu Nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), which is also in power in Assam, have cracked down heavily on cow slaughter in recent years. About two-thirds of India's 28 states, many of them governed by the BJP, have partially or fully banned. Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Gratitude Imokwede. Here are the rest of the stories for today.
It's a tough time for Nollywood actress Mercy Aigbe and her husband Kazeem Adeoti as they lose their Lagos mansion to a fire incident. The movie star, who is gearing up for a movie which will be hitting cinemas this month, shares a video. She is grateful that no life was lost and believes all will be well. Many of her colleagues flooded her comment section to sympathize with her. Nigerian clergyman residing in the UK, Pastor Toby Adegboyega, has broken silence amid his deportation from the UK. It was reported that the clergyman lost his legal battle against deportation from the UK following allegations of financial misconduct. The founder of SPAC Nation was exposed for misusing his church funds amounting to €1.87 million. An immigration tribunal ruled that the clergyman, who has been living in the UK unlawfully since overstaying his visitor's visa in 2005, should be deported to Nigeria. Speaking out in a video on his Instagram page, the founder of SPAC Nation told his supporters not to panic, as he stated that he is at home and has succeeded against several challenges and orders in the UK. He told Nigerians to be proud of him as he has survived a lot. Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo has reached out to her colleague Mercy Aigbe and her husband Kazeem Adeoti following the loss of their house. It was reported at the early hours of today that the actress had revealed that she had lost her Lagos mansion to a fire incident. The movie star shared a video of the aftermath of her property as she expressed how devastated she was. However, she was grateful that no life was lost and believed all would be well. Expressed gratitude that no life were lost. Nollywood stars brought the hit at popular skit